So talk about your film and the super aging concept and why you're doing it now, because you mentioned it earlier. A lot of your friends, they're not like, hey, how about if my next thing is a movie? I've done the book, I've done the Wall Street thing, I've done the book thing. Let's do the movie thing. So talk about your movies.
Well, let me just start if I can, at the
Sure.
beginning of this story. Okay. So I was in terrible shape. And 5 years later, it took 5 years. I was doing 50 push-ups. I had lost, I weighed 205 in high school. I wasn't fat, I was just kind of big. I'm down to 155 on a good day. I've kept it off. That's the main thing. And I said, you know something? I want to share this with other people who are struggling. And I wrote a book, and it's called, I'm from Kentucky. I cannot say J-U-S-T the way I say J-E-S-T. It's embarrassing. I say elbow instead of elbow. Why? I don't know. Nobody else in the family talks that way. But it's called Just Move. And it was published by National Geographic. They've never done a book like this before. Just Move. And we got some early reviews were terrific. I want to share this story with you. And people called me, emailed, whatever, and said, we love the book. And I said, to my wife's name is Stanya. I'm married over my head. Everybody knows that. She's got all the charisma. I said, honey, I've got a feeling about this. And she said, well, I'm going to ask one of these people, why did you enjoy the book? Because you are the dream for a realtor like me. They thought the book Just Move was to encourage people to move and buy houses. Live and learn, right?
Right. Oops.
Well, that's why I'm humble. You never know in life why somebody does something. But what I realized was my story could inspire people. And that's what I'm into right now. And that's changing lives. To me, is kind of what it's all about. Yeah, it's nice to make some money, nice to be successful in a traditional way. But as you get older, the purpose, finding that purpose, and a lot of people never do. To me, that's the difference. And I don't mean to be corny, or I just mean I had the other stuff. I don't buy a lot. I mean, I don't drive brand new cars and expensive stuff. Nah, but I live for this. I work 7 days a week doing what I'm doing. Now I'm stubborn, I admit, ornery, absolutely. And I have to share with you, I would rather do it myself, my way, and be wrong than do it somebody else's way and be right. Now, that's typical, I think, of somebody with my personality. I'm ornery, stubborn, don't take no for an answer. And my favorite thing is, you'll never get this book published. Oh, yeah? You want to bet? So now you've got to believe in yourself, as you do, obviously, because you've enjoyed the success. You know what success looks like to you. And I didn't enjoy that success early in my life. So this has been a learning lesson for me. Now I do. I have no fear. And what I learned the hard way is, if you want to really touch lives, I think I'm a pretty good writer. Okay. Now I don't write under a deadline. That's a real writer. I have a deadline of, tomorrow afternoon at 5:00. Nope. I'll write until I'm happy and finished. Okay. And I said, I think if you want to really move lives, you can do it best through a film, not through medium, not through writing. I don't think so. And so I said, I'm going to become a producer. And my best friend said, what the heck do you know about producing? Nothing. But I'll figure it out. I'll jump on the deep end. I don't swim very well, but I can dog paddle. I'm not going to drown. What's the worst that can happen? It's a terrible film. Well, maybe so, but guess what? I don't have the fear. And so the first one came out 3 years ago. It was called
So you were 80, like, just for people paying attention at home. Yeah. You're in your 70s and decide I'm going to be a producer. Yeah. So it's never too late. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. And I thought about it, and I said, a producer has the vision, and I don't want to be fancy dancy, but I've always been a guy with a vision. I'm not saying daily different one, but I've always had a vision that kind of drew me into it, as most creative people have, like you have. So you have a vision of what you can do with this podcast in changing lives. I had the same thing, just a different, thing. So the producer has the vision, hires the people, okay, oversees the quality, which is critical, often does a lot of the writing, but not all of it, but does not get behind the camera. I know nothing about the camera work and so on. Also does the marketing. And so it was called The Art of Aging Well. And for whatever reason, I decided to do it through PBS. Well, it ran in 124 PBS stations. Oh, it's pretty good. The bad news, Kristi, in case you ever want to do this, every PBS station does its own thing. There is no central thing. So the fact that New Orleans PBS, if that's what it's called, runs something, it's great. It has nothing to do with Tulsa. So it's like pulling teeth. It's just painful. And 124, but that's, it was successful. And this is their number, not my number. And then when I went through, I want to share this story with you. When I did these interviews with people, okay, I was not in the film, by the way. I noticed that some people were 60 and looked and moved like they were 80. Think about people who were 80 and looked and moved like they were 60. I said, what do these folks over here know that this other group doesn't know? I called them superagers. Now, they're not superstars necessarily. And these are not the outliers. These are not people that can jump out of helicopters and swim the English Channel. They're ordinary people, but they've got a spark. You've known people in your life who've had the spark. Where does it come from? If I knew, I would share it with you and your audience. I don't know. It's kind of how they look at life. And they have found a joy from very ordinary things, has been my experience. It's not like they're writing best-selling books. I'm a movie star. No, it's not that they have social standing. A lot of people who have got a ton of money are miserable. They're on their third marriage. Their kids despise them. It's just, I know people like that. These are people who have found some joy in their life, and they don't feel sorry for themselves. They have a sense of humor. There's something, the spark, it's like magic. Where does it come from? Our neighbor across the hall, we live in a senior community, is 87. If you saw her, you would think she was 57. She has energy. She lights the room up with a smile. That's what I call a superager. Then there are people in the same building, kind of, I don't want to say mean and nasty, but when you see them, there's no smile. They're always into themselves. You met my wife of 54 years. I wouldn't put up with me for a month. This amazing woman has put up with me for 54 years. She's the star, not me. I'm married over my head. Everybody that knows us knows that. She is, her personality and charm, I don't know why she does it. Her name is Stanya. I think her mom was reading a Russian novel or something. I don't know. But
well, and you
both from Kentucky.
Talking about your relationship, which congratulations, very few people make it to that many years and want more years, right? Because some people get there, but they're like, another day. But no, you're looking forward to more years, and so that's fantastic. But I think it's really important about
the beach, holding hands. You have no idea of the joy. You say, well, what'd you all do? What do you mean, what did we do? We just held hands and laughed like teenagers. What'd you laugh about? Nothing. That's called living.